Garfield telephones kept washing ashore in France. Now the mystery has been solved. By Megan Flynn. For more than 30 years, pieces of Garfield telephones kept washing ashore on the beaches of northwestern France, and no one knew quite why. Where was the lasagna loving cartoon cat coming from? The mystery would puzzle the locals for years. His plastic body parts, first appearing in the crevice of the Brittany coast in the mid 1980s, kept returning no matter how many times beach cleaners recovered them. Sometimes they would only find only his lazy, bulging eyes, or just his smug face, or his entire fat cat body, always splayed out in the sand in a very Garfield fashion. From the from the stray curly wires and the occasional dial pad, it was clear that the pieces came from the once popular Garfield telephone, which hit the shelves in the early 1980s, several years after Jim Davis first colored the famously lazy cat into his hit comic strip. The phone parts were in remarkable condition, considering they had been belched from the ocean. Claire Simon Lemieux, president of the environmental group Elvetacieux, told the Washington Post. Even Garfield's black stripes were still painted onto his back, where the phone was hooked. She had been searching for the origin of Garfield for years. She said, out of concern for the damage of the plastic phones may be doing to the ocean. And this month, after a chance encounter at the beach, she was about to get answers. Simon Lemieux said the common belief among locals was that the phone came from a wayward shipping container that must have sunk to the bottom of the ocean, leaving environmentalists to fear the Garfield's plastic toxicity would continue to pollute the ocean indefinitely. In 2018 alone, at least 200 pieces of Garfield had been found on the beaches in northwestern France. France Info reported. If they could just salvage the long lost shipping container, Simon Lemieux said, perhaps Garfield would stop coming and coming and coming and coming. We were looking for it, but we had no precise idea of where it could be, Simon Lemore said. We thought it was under the sea. We asked people who were divers to look for it. We get a lot of submarines in the area too. It's a military idea. But they said it was not possible. The container could be there and nobody saw it. This year, however, something changed. Simon and Lemieux got a tip. It came from the local farmer named Rene Morvain. All the France Info's recent publicity of the bizarre phenomenon and its environmental impact had apparently sparked his memory. One day last month, Simon Lemieux said that she met Morvan on the beach while cleaning up debris, including Garfield part. Are you looking for Garfield? The man asked. Simon Lemieux said yes, she was. She always was. Come with me, the old man told her. I can show you. Morvan started from the beginning, back when he was 19 or 20 years old in the mid 1980s. He told her a storm blew through the area, and before residents knew it, Garfield telephones were scattered all over the beach, just as Simon Lemore had always been told, and his brother were curious. Morvan said, and they decided to go exploring, touring the rocky coastline until they found what they were seeking. Wedged inside a cave, tucked into the seaside cliffs, there it was, a metal shipping container. And a cache of Garfield telephones, Morvan claimed he saw. The story struck Simone Lemur as too good to be true. The tide was too high to bring her to the cave that day, Morven realized, and so she would have to wait to find out if he was telling the truth. The shipping container, Morvan told her, was lodged so deep in the cave that it was nearly submerged, making the trip a dangerous expedition. But finally, last week, it was safe. The tide was low. Then Morvan Simon Lemieux said ultimately was not kidding. Filming the discovery, a group of journalists and environmentalists, Simon Lemieux included, climbed up the rocky shore to the cave's narrow opening, finding snippets of a bright orange phone cord along the way. Garfield was scattered all about, just like on the beach. But when the group entered the cave, ready for the big reveal, they didn't find what they expected. It was clear. The plastic cats had been there, Simon Lemieux said, but clearer still that most were already gone. Our preoccupation was to understand why we had so many Garfields everywhere. We thought it would be helpful to find the container so we can stop it, but that was unfortunately not the case. Someone more said, what we found was the remainder of the shipping container, and it was empty. It seemed the group had solved the mystery, she said, but not the problem. The téléphone Garfield, as it's known in the online catalog for ubiquitous ocean debris, is just one plastic item among myriad others that litter the ocean and the shore every year. In the region of the northwestern France, the Garfield phone has become like an unwitting Smokey Bear, the mascot for the importance of ocean cleanup and the dangers of the microplastic polluting the ocean.